Well, that's right. Marco and I are together. We're
Yes,
still
we are.
together.
We haven't got a divorce
We
yet.
haven't got a divorce yet. A lot of people have been asking, where is Marco? Well, right now we are in an abandoned cabin in Nevada, and we've been on a 4-day adventure, and we've been talking about some of the challenges your Jeep has been having.
Yes.
And so in this video, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, and then we'll dive into the many, many challenges your Jeep's been having, dude. But it's still running great. It's been awesome, this adventure.
Absolutely, yes.
Stay tuned. Welcome to TrailRecon. I'm Brad, and this is my good friend Marco from OVRLNDX. And we are here, we're on day 4, dude, of a Death Valley adventure at this really rustic, abandoned cabin here. Cool fire.
Cool fire. Everything has been amazing on this.
It's been a great
just,
trip.
Just great, awesome wheeling, awesome camping.
Yeah.
Been freezing.
It's been cold. So look, we're going to do a quick coffee one take. We thought it'd be great to have a conversation, just kind of catch up on what's been going on, but really dive into a little bit about what's been going on with your Jeep. Because over the last year and a half, man, you have spent quite a bit of time working on that thing because things have kind of had some challenges.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for people to know what some of those challenges are, because there's a lot of JK owners out there that might be interested in, oh, Marco had to pay, if something breaks on my Jeep, maybe I need to pay attention to that or whatever.
Yes.
So before we dive into that though, just a couple things I want to mention. First of all, there's a peanut gallery behind the camera. The rest of our crew is here. We got Josh from SoCalX, and we've got Jim from Dynatrack, who has been the leader of this trip, and it's just been, you guys are going to love this video. We've been filming this entire adventure, and that video will be coming out soon. You're going to love it. It's awesome. But two housekeeping things really quick. One, doing a KC Highlights giveaway. So we're giving away some of the new Flex Era 4 lights, and I'll leave a link down below. Plus, we've got an E3 Association conference coming up, which is going to be awesome. We're going to have so many great people talking at the event, so many educational courses and that kind of stuff. You're going to come there and just have a great time. So if you're interested in that conference, also a link down below. Okay, Marco, before we dive into your Jeep, buddy, where you been, man? Everybody's been asking, where's Marco? Marco hasn't been in the TrailRecon videos lately. What's been going on, buddy?
Some of you know that I just recently moved from the city to the mountains in San Diego. And I thought it was going to be a quick and easy move, but it has been a lot of work.
Yeah.
I've been working on the house to make it livable for my family. It's been a lot of work.
Yeah, you built a new shed. You had to drive all the way across country to pick up an RV to put on there, and so you've been busy, man. I mean, life gets in the way of adventures sometimes, but you've been texting me and calling me. We've had lunch together. You're like, dude, I can't wait. I can't wait. And so, what a great new kickoff trip to finally go out.
Oh, this is my first trip of the year since November.
Yeah.
My last trip was Baja. And I was super excited to be here, yes.
Yeah, we don't want to give too much away, but we could talk a little bit about this trip. So we started out in the northern part of Death Valley, and then worked our way through some really cool technical trails, up to some of the old mines. Yeah, we found some old mines that Jim took us to, some old cabins like this one, some that were a lot more rustic than this one. What do you think about the ghost town yesterday?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was incredible, just going through all that old stuff, and I mean, the person, Walt is his name, right?
Yeah.
He takes care of the saloon there. It's just great experience.
Yeah, I mean, just to see all that stuff still standing and that people are taking care of the old ghost town and stuff is pretty cool. And we're not done. We're on day 4, but we're done filming this. We're packing up, we're hopping in our Jeeps, and then we're going to keep on going. So we're not even done with this adventure yet. And Jim mentioned something about an old castle today.
I can't wait.
That should be pretty cool. But boy, we put the Jeeps through the ringer, especially up to that defense mine trail. That was tough.
I was afraid of breaking an axle.
Yeah, it was tough. We were definitely, the rock lander, right? We were definitely pushing it hard. We did have some breakage on this adventure, but we'll talk. You have to wait until the video comes out. We don't want to give too much away, but it's been an awesome trip. So, okay, buddy, let's talk about your Jeep. First of all, what year and how many miles do you have on your Jeep right now?
It's a 2015 Hard Rock Rubicon with 142,000 miles.
142,000 hard miles, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you've built that thing up. I mean, it's gone through a lot of different iterations of the build. I mean, if you go back and look at that original video that we did when we first met, the first walk around video, and you guys probably seen that, but if not, you can go check that out. The Jeep doesn't even look the same.
No.
There's still a white Jeep underneath there and a lot of the same bones, but you've built it up several different times. But then you just get out and wheel the heck out of it.
Yes.
I mean, that is no show queen.
That was built for that. So, we've got to use it.
Right. And so when you build your Jeep up and then you get out and use it, there's some things that are gonna, I don't want to see the B word, but you've had some challenges, some things that you've had to repair along the way, right? So I think a good starting point is going back to our Gold Mountain trip. Big Bear. When we were up in Big Bear, California on Gold Mountain, and we didn't film, we were just going up to wheel that day in the snow and have a good time. And we were having a blast. I mean, it was coming up the hard stuff and the snow and the pine trees.
Everything was fine until we reached the top.
Yeah.
And then my steering went.
Yeah.
And that can be scary, coming down the mountain without steering.
Well, and even more scary because there was ice on the trail, right? And I remember vividly watching, like, oh no, Marco's got no brakes.
No brakes.
And now his steering's going. And so you had to bank it, right?
I just banked it.
Yeah.
Eric was with me from American Overland, and I said, dude, we're gonna have to bank this thing, or we're gonna go down the hill.
Yeah. Yeah. So you lost your steering. It was like boiling over. You banked it into the side of the berm there, and then we had to. We didn't really winch you, but we had to put a tow strap on the front of you and a tow strap on the rear.
From a tree. So,
on a tree, because there was the trail came down straight and then it teed off. And then there was a cliff right there at the end. And it was a little sketchy. And so we put a tow strap on the front of your Jeep to mine, and then a tow strap on the Jeep so you wouldn't go flying off, so I could pull you as you slid on the ice with no steering to get around that corner. Okay, so your steering went out. So talk a little bit about what was the end result? What happened with the steering?
For some reason, there was a piece of plastic inside the line of the steering, and it created pressure. That's why when I stopped, the tires went by themselves, like going back and forth.
Right.
And so that pressure, obviously, it gave up and it exploded. The whole thing exploded.
Oh, I remember. I thought there was a fire in your Jeep. I grabbed my fire extinguisher, was running.
Yeah. And so that was the pump.
Yeah.
The pump broke, and coming down, it froze on me.
Yeah.
And it snapped up the belt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that made a mess because it cut the wires. It made a mess under the hood.
Yeah. Well, that was we had to call a tow truck. There was no driving home that day, and it was cold, like today.
It was late.
And it was late. It was a long day, but I mean, you just kind of have to. You kind of have to expect sometimes that those things are going to happen. So you got that fixed, that repaired. Steering was great. Did you upgrade your steering?
I did upgraded the steering.
What did you upgrade it to?
To a PSE.
Okay. And you haven't had any problems since?
Any problems at all.
Okay. And then I think the next time I remember challenges, we both had challenges, and that was
that was fun.
It was in Moab, right? So we get to Moab, and we were just out there. We were wheeling with our buddy Carlos and a couple other good friends, and I noticed on my Jeep, I was like, "There's a little drip, little oil drip going on," and we didn't know what was going on. But every time I would be on an incline, the drip would be a little bit heavier, but it wasn't crazy, it wasn't bad. But then, I don't think we noticed anything until later.
In my Jeep, I didn't get to wheel.
That's right. You were sitting with me.
Yeah, because as soon as we got to Moab, my clutch went.
That's right.
So we just parked it for a week in a hotel.
Yeah. So your clutch was out. So you stayed in a hotel, and then it wasn't out. You could still drive it. You just didn't want to wheel it. That's what was going on. Because we ended up driving home.
Yes.
Sort of driving home.
Barely made
it home. So we still had a good time out there. I had that oil leak the whole time, but it wasn't anything that was, that I needed to stop for. There's no engine codes. Everything was fine. But then on the drive home, I was worried about you. I was following you, even though I had the oil leak. I was like following you, like, you're doing okay through the passes and your clutch was all right. And then I think I remember getting on the radio. I'm like, Marco, something's not right. I got this shake or something going on. And I think I had at the time wheel spacers in the back, and one of the lugs snapped or something.
And then your control arm
That's right.
broke off from the axle.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
My rear control arm fractured right at the axle, and so we had some put some ratchet straps on there. But the good news is it's a 4-link, so you can limp along with 3 links. It's not ideal, but we ratchet strapped that thing on. That's right. I forgot about that.
It was cold.
Oh my god.
Inside of the freeway, yeah.
We had to stop 3 times that trip home. So I was limping home with an oil leak, broken control arm, and a broken lug nut. And you were limping home with
my clutch just screaming like a wild animal.
That's right. Sounded like the White Wookiee. Yeah. It was the White Wookiee all the way home. Yeah, it was fun. Okay, so you replaced you went aftermarket with your clutch. What did you end up putting? Center Force.
Center Force, yeah.
Yeah. Why did you go with the Center Force clutch?
Because the reputation of Center Force and that flywheel, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, and so it's been great since, right?
It's been great.
Yeah. Do you remember how many miles ago that was?
I don't know.
It's been a while.
100,000, around 120,000.
Yeah.
That's not wrong.
But you've noticed a difference, especially on the rocks, on the trails and stuff.
Yes.
It's even better stock, right?
Yep. Much better.
Okay, so that was a pretty exciting trip. Okay, now what's next?
What I recommend, because I got engine code, which the knock sensors. So I took it to the dealer because it's a big job.
Yeah.
What I didn't knew at the time is that I should have changed every sensor in there. The sensors are close, to the knock sensors.
Right.
So we changed the knock sensors, and a week later, I got a code for the high temperature oil sensor.
Now, when you got the knock sensor, was it just a code, or was your Jeep driving funny?
It was just a code.
It was a code, so there wasn't anything wrong with your Jeep when you got that.
But it's recommended. I mean, if it's giving you a code.
Yeah, definitely. But everything was driving fine.
Everything was driving fine.
Okay, so you got in. They replaced how many knock sensors? Is there just one knock sensor?
2 knock sensors.
2 knock sensors, and you replaced both of them.
Yes.
Okay, and then talk to me about this, because this happened right before this trip.
Yeah.
Right. So what happened?
A day before.
A day before. So what happened?
So I went to Mexicali for work.
Yeah.
And I got an engine code. I said, well, I stopped and checked the code, and it was a P0198, which is the high oil temperature sensor. I said, oh, we got this big trip. I can do that. So I ordered the part. I got it the following day.
There would have been a fan mutiny if you hadn't showed up for this trip.
Right? So I tried to replace it. Well, I replaced it myself at home.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
Oh, it was a big job.
Yeah.
Because I had to remove everything from the Jeep, and because that sensor is way back in the engine by the firewall.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy task.
No. So here's what I get. I get a text from Marco. I didn't know this was going on. I get a text. He sends me a picture. The whole manifold is pulled off. Everything's exposed. And he's like, I'm working hard, guys. I'm going to make the trip. And I'm like, Marco, we're leaving in like 24 hours. What are you doing? But it fixed. Yeah. We think it's fixed.
I think so.
But we'll talk about what happened yesterday in a second. Yeah. But that you did that all yourself. So basically, pull the manifold off, replace that. And no more issues, no more codes, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, week before?
Yeah.
Dripping axle cover.
Oh yeah. That's me too. I fixed that on Jordan on the JK. We had to replace the diff cover. I think we forgot something though, because it happened simultaneously to us. Is the clock spring?
The clock spring too.
How many miles were you at when the clock spring went out? Do you remember?
That's not long ago.
It was a few months ago.
A few months ago, maybe 125,000, 130,000.
And what were the symptoms that you got when the clock spring went out?
My controls wouldn't work on the steering.
Yeah. I remember you telling me I'm replacing my clock sensor, and I'm like, I never had any problems with my clock sensor. And it was probably not even 5 days, 6 days after. Jordan's like, hey, Dad, the volume on the steering wheel and some of the buttons aren't working, and I'm like, hey, Marco, when you replaced our clock spring, was it some of the... He's like, yep. I'm like, yep, we're replacing our clock spring. But thankfully, not for you. You ended up doing yours yourself.
Yeah, but it's weird because I took it to the dealer.
Yeah.
And my VIN code doesn't show that needed to be replaced, but
Right.
yours did.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah,
They're the
yeah.
same year.
Right, the same year, both 2015s, but it was covered under the warranty. I think there was a recall on those things or something like that. So
Not on mine though.
yeah, no, not on yours. So okay, now let's talk about yesterday. So yesterday we've done over 200, I think 250 miles almost on the dirt on this
dirt,
trail.
yeah.
It's been a long trip, and then yesterday we were coming down the mountain. And that was a fun little coming down the mountain. Steel Canyon, that was pretty fun.
Those obstacles were
Yeah,
fun.
but we were hitting some pretty nasty silt, thin silt that just gets everywhere. And you radioed in, something was going on. What happened?
Suddenly, it wouldn't go over 40 miles an hour.
Right.
It was just like in limb mode.
Yeah.
No codes, no nothing.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't go over 40 miles an hour, so that was pretty weird.
Yeah.
Then I got to you guys to that cross and shut it off, turn it back on, and it wouldn't. Normal.
Right.
Normal, but it kept on doing it.
Yeah, it's done it a few times, right? So there's something going. You didn't get a check engine light right away,
No.
but you got one late in the afternoon,
Yeah.
right?
And this morning it's on, so
It's on this morning.
we need to check that.
So you've got a code reader, so we'll go check the codes and we'll figure out what's going on. But I think it's important to mention that the Toyota guys are out there going to be like, Jeeps are unreliable or whatever. But we have ridden these Jeeps hard. I mean, you've really ridden them hard, and at 143 miles, you can expect things are gonna, any vehicle's 143,000 miles, you're gonna have to fix some stuff.
And I got a bunch of codes, guys, but my next vehicle, it's a Jeep.
Right, yeah. And you've been talking about that. You definitely want to get a new Jeep eventually. Gladiator or Wrangler? You leaning one way or the other?
Wrangler.
Wrangler?
Yeah.
Oh, I think people are going to be interested in
Yeah, I
knowing
think
that. I
so.
think there's been a lot of inquiries about what's he going to get.
I think a Wrangler.
Yeah.
But now I see Josh's setup, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, Josh's setup's pretty nice, man. It's pretty nice. But your JK's not going anywhere, fair to say?
No.
No? No.
That's my grandson's.
Yeah, right.
He's 7.
Yeah, got to keep that thing running, man. That thing running. So awesome. Well, buddy, this has been an awesome adventure, man, and thanks for getting on camera and talking about your challenges with your Jeeps. But I think that's going to be really helpful for a lot of people out there. And look, if you want to know what codes we ended up finding today, well, go follow Marco on Instagram at OVRLNDX, and I'm sure you'll be posting about what some of those challenges. You always keep everybody up to date on what's going on, so that'll be good. So, all right, guys, keep an eye out for this Death Valley adventure video. I think it's going to be epic when it's all said and done, and I can't wait to finish this and just get home and start putting this story together. You guys are going to love it. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.